Well, good morning. This is the very beginning of the end. Today I will leave Seaport Marina. Here we are. This is Seaport Marina on the Caladonian canal. And looking at those clouds, it's definitely a wrap-up warm type day. I don't know, I think it's about 6:30 in the morning at the moment. But I've got a few jobs I need to do. One of which is to oil the anchor chain. So what I found is when I'm bringing the anchor in, it turns into what has just been recently described to me as the Grey Pyramid of Doom. And then somebody else said, "Oh, have you baby oiled your chain?" Well, I haven't baby oiled, but I do have olive oil, so I shall be doing that and checking the weather. Well, let's do the weather first, I think. Well, we are up here in Inverness. You can see where that cross is it's telling me it's 5 knots, and that's later. So 8 knots of wind from the west. If only it had been westerly while I was going up Loch Ness, that would have been nice. Moving forward on, yeah, it's pretty much going to stay. Well, hopefully I'd better be where I'm going at that time, that's for sure. 5 to 8 knots westerly. I've got to get through that little narrow bit there by Fortrose before noon, because the water right now is slack in this little area. Oh, battery saver. I'll get rid of that. Plug that in, I suppose. That is right slack right now. If I can see what I'm doing and go later, we can see the water is coming out, 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 slack at 11, and at 12 it's starting to push us back in again, and then that will go into the narrow bit, which isn't on this map. That's the important thing, because that is quite a fast tide, and if I've got that going the opposite way to which I want to go, I'm going nowhere. So at what time to say? At noon we've got to be past that pinch point, that narrow point. Will that happen? Who knows? We've got to deal with lockmasters who have they have rules that we don't know about, and trying to get out on time is usually challenged. But there are 4 of us wanting to go that way, and we have said we want to be out at 9 a.m. and they said fine, give us a call in the morning at 8:30 and we'll make that happen. Fingers crossed. Okay, what about the weather? And that's the wind and the tide. What about the sea state? Not that worried about it, because we are pretty much sheltered inland with that westerly wind. But let's see what the forecast says. Well, we are up here in Area 1, which is Cape Wrath to Rattray Head. Let's see what it says. Westerly or northwesterly 3 to 5, becoming variable 2 at times. In the south, that's around Peterhead area, Rattray Head. All of this maybe as well. Oops, sorry. That's around Peterhead area, Rattray Head there. All of this as well. Oops. It's difficult to look through my phone. Mainly slight or moderate, but smooth, that's fine. Smooth is brilliant. Moray Firth, that's where we are. Occasional drizzle, fog patches in the north. Visibility moderate, good, occasionally pouring in the north. Right, well, we're not up here in the north, so I'll put my waterproofs on anyway. Alright, will it work? The idea is I'm now going to pull all of this chain, which I need 2 hands, out of there, and I'm then going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the chain, which will help it slide over itself. Now, the last time this chain was used was in freshwater Loch Ness, so it's been washed of all of the salt, which is one of the things you're supposed to do. Fortunate that that happened naturally and I didn't have to get the hosepipe out. Right, well that's all the chain pulled out. and laid across there. So basically, olive oil on the sponge, pull the sponge through the chain. It's not a big enough sponge, I need a bigger sponge, and leave it all up so that when it all comes down into the chain locker, it slides over itself and doesn't just make a big pyramid that then jams at the top just underneath this and gets frustrating. So basically just trying to put a coating of the olive oil on the chain, and it's taken a lot more olive oil than I thought it would. Although I think a lot of it is on the deck rather than on the chain. So this is what happens inside the locker until it jams up the locker and there's no space for the rest of the chain to go down. This proves to be then dangerous because there are times when I've got the anchor up but dangling in the water and not all of the way up, and I can't motor off because I don't know what the anchor is going to catch on. I have to then go downstairs into the anchor locker, which is through the V-berth, and push the pyramid over to make space for the rest of the chain on top. That takes time, and while I'm doing that, nobody is in control of the boat, and that's dangerous too. So this is purely an action for my own safety. So this is my anchor windlass switch that I'm operating when it all goes pear-shaped. I then have to come down here. There is nobody in control of the boat right now. The boat is just floating. Generally, I have to pull this out of the way because, you know, life. And then I have to, oh, hello, reach in here and pull that open like that. And that's where the big pyramid usually is. And then I have to push it over. And as you can see, I can only really just reach there anyway. And then, once I've pushed it over, I have to get back upstairs. Right, well, I know for a fact that doesn't work because as I'm putting the anchor chain back into the locker, guess what happened? Yeah, it clogged. So, who knows? Maybe I didn't use enough. Yeah, not recommended yet. Let's see what happens. But now it's time to put that thing on and have myself some breakfast. I was going to do myself an egg and bacon for breakfast, but I didn't have any bacon. But I did have this. Pork chops. And I figured with such a big pork chop I don't need egg. But now I'm regretting the fact that I've only had a small breakfast. Got to leave here in 30 minutes. And yes, I do eat it straight out of the pan. The gates are opening. The bridge is already open. This is Itaxo with Mark and Kobe. And behind me, single-handed sailing, is Elizabeth from Norway, I think. We are nearly in the sea. That's been wetting my deck. One more lap to go. You can see the bridge there behind me. Should probably look where I'm going. Oh, I can do that through this phone, can't I? There we go. It says entrance, but it's my exit. Bumpiness at the other side of these gates. I don't wanna. And there we have it. We're out. The lumpiness has gone away quite quickly. I've got my foresail out. Only my foresail because the wind is at the moment directly behind me. You can see there on that meter. Itaxo managed to, there's two of them on board. They got their sails up like immediately and disappeared off down ahead. And Elizabeth here from Norway has decided to go for the motoring option. But she's also spent some time putting her fenders away. So we're all off on our own independent journeys. She's off to Wick. The taxo is off to even further than Lossiemouth, and I'm going to Lossiemouth, so yeah, it's a beautiful little bit of sailing. Have a look at this. Look at how much that tide is ripping. It's pushing me along 6.2 knots. Look at that. Alright, there we go, 6.3, brilliant. But I've hardly got any wind at all. I don't think I had that much to be worried about making it. Oh, look at those fellas up that bridge. Hello. Be careful up there, won't you? Woo! Speedy. Oh, it goes a bit weird there, so I think I'll steer out of that weirdness. And very quickly, we enter into a very strange mental game. Because the water has widened out now, it's a lot less narrow. As you can see behind me, the tide is not moving as fast, so my speed has dropped down. It's dropped down to 4 knots. It was up at 7.3 at one point. And now I'm wondering, will I make it through to the narrow bit before the tide turns against me? And there's always an anxiety that just raises, will I make it? Will I not? And that's curious, because this is so peaceful. I'm moving at 4 miles an hour, slightly faster than walking pace, but it feels like I'm stood still. Do I do something? If I put the engine on, I would go faster. But do I want to? No. But do I want to get there in time? Yes. Will I get there in time? In theory. I'll have a cup of tea. This is the narrow bit I'm talking about, where the marker says 5.5 nautical miles away. Well, 5.5 nautical miles at 3.3 knots. It's nearly 2 hours. The time is 10. I need to be through for 12. So I will make it. But only just. And what if I slow down? Oh, games that go through your head. What do I do? I've done both. Cup of tea. Put the engine on just a little bit. Doubled my speed with just a tiny bit of engine. And because the engine's on, I can use the autopilot. So it's all good. Apart from the fact that I made this cup of tea at 8 o'clock this morning, it's not exactly warm. This area is really, really popular for dolphins, and I saw absolutely loads of people looking for dolphins. I did see 3 or 4 dolphins, big boys they were, or girls, they were very, very big. But they weren't interested in playing around Ketty's bow wave again. And even though I sang to them, apparently if you sing to them, they like that. I sang to them and they didn't come. So, oh well, can't show you any dolphin footage, I'm afraid. But, you know, if you look over there, there's like hundreds of people stood on the beach looking for dolphins. Just coming past Fort George now. Look at that, 6.5 knots, it's really good. Nice wind there. But probably about 2 miles ahead of me over there is Elizabeth on her Onedin boat. And then out of sight down there is Marconi Taxo, and yeah, they just shot off like a rocket. Elizabeth motored all of the way through that first bit, and then put her sails up. So I don't feel bad that I'm last in this race, because I'm still doing 6 knots, and that's good for Ketty. Well done, Ketty. Never looks as nice on the camera. And if I zoom in, you don't really get the perspective that I'm getting. But it's very pretty and green in Scotland there. And this is me rolling around. A little bit of not quite so prettiness under the sail there. A bit of industry peeking its head through the life of sailing. We do need industry. Without industry, I wouldn't be able to make a boat, I suppose. I have to say, for all there's industry here, this beach gets the seal of approval. There's loads of them. You get it? Seal of approval? There's loads of them. You can see that I'm getting my cruising chute out, ready to have a go once I'm past this little bit of headland. But as I'm in the rope locker, getting my sheets out, see if you can hear this noise. I have no idea where that's coming from. It can only be something attached to the outside of the hull moving in the water and rattling on the hull, but I'm flummoxed. I've had a look over the side and I can't see anything. Well, she's up. Wasn't too much of a pain to get her up, but I'm on too much of a dead run. And this is what happens when you're on a dead run with an asymmetric. Actually, I'm not even on a dead run. I'm, yeah, not quite 120. I'm too close to 180. And she flobs and bobs. Giving me, though, 5 knots, which I'm really happy with, especially because I've only got 9 knots of wind. But I think, on account of the fact that she also gets super rolly, I'll head off port a bit, off track, and we'll see what happens. She fills up and goes faster. So let's give ourselves 10 degrees to port. Will she fill? Okay, I think she has done, but I still need to do some trimming, and I can't do that whilst I'm holding the phone. So you'll just have to trust me that I'm having an amazing time. Unless you're only going to sponsor me if I'm not having an amazing time, in which case this is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I'm really not enjoying myself today, so please donate somebody doing something that they don't enjoy in order to raise funds for Parkinson's UK. I really do need to trim that sail. It's 12:04. You see those red arrows there pointing down? That is the building of the tide against me. That will spin around soon. And that is what I wanted, to get past Fort George before that happened. So good, I'm past it. All good. My life ends up rotating around these 3 instruments. My 5.7 knots of wind giving me 4.3 knots of speed. And that's my depth, which is really awkward to read, and if you just get the angle right on it, you might be able to say that says 15.6. But that wind is a little bit too far off my starboard, and the cruising chute is on my starboard, so I might have to go port a lot more. Also, I'm busy cooking. There it is! Lunch on the go. Some cloudiness happening, but look how calm this water is. It's almost like I'm on a Loch Ness or something. But the need for speed got the better of me. What? Gull winging with a cruising chute? I actually only have 5 knots of wind at the moment. Is that what it is? Yeah, 5.6 knots. So, you know, oh, and I jibed it as well. I was quite pleased I managed to jibe. Yeah, quite excited about that. And remarkably, this thing is actually turning. I wonder what it's generating for me. 0.02 amps. Amazing. I'm using 2.5 amps just for running all of the electronics that I need to keep the boat going the right direction. Oh well. This clicky noise has been frustrating me. I wanted to know what it was. Now, I had already tried putting the boat into gear to stop all of the running gear running. It's in gear now, in reverse. Let's take it out of reverse. There you go. Clickety click click. When I put it into gear, I put it into forward, rot, reverse. So there you have it. Gears making clickety noises because they're being forced by the water going past the prop. And it's only when you put it into reverse, not forward, duh, that it stops. Well, we're coming up to Lossiemouth. It's about an hour and a half away. Not actually that far, but unfortunately, the world has decided that I'll go even slower. It's got cold. It's like coat and jeans and everything, and then the cruising chute keeps doing this. That's because the wind is doing nothing at all. Hang on. There we go. Pull it in tight. Then it'll fill. Maybe. There we go. And then you ease it out gently. But there's so little wind now. I might. Oh, hello. Yeah. Put the engine on. Can't live with the sail doing that. It's like pointless if it's doing that. You know, there is some wind though. Back to my instruments. Is that my hat? Loch Ness. That's where I've been. Oh well. Something with this. 5 PM. I'm probably an hour away from my destination, Lossiemouth. And I just, for the fun of it, thought I'd have a check to see where Itaxo was. Marconi Itaxo is now 10.5 miles ahead of me. He did have a faster boat, I suppose. And Elizabeth on, I can't remember the name of the boat, anyway. She's just not even on AIS anymore. She's gone like way north. And that's just the way it is. He thinks I might have fish. He was looking very hopeful at me and swimming towards me, thinking that I might be a fishing boat with fish. Sorry, not a fishing boat. Certainly no fish. I've not been successful at fishing yet. Hence you've not seen me doing it. And here we are. Made it into Lossiemouth. My Ketty is now secure for the night. Just one night only. A massive thank you to Martin. Sorry Martin if it's not Martin. who took my lines, because curiously enough, as I came in, the wind decided that it wanted to blow 17 knots that way, straight into that wall, which made docking with the wind quite difficult. But you know, we did a good job. We didn't crash. Took my lines and then we moved her forward. There's enough room for somebody behind me if somebody comes tonight, but I don't know what time they're going to want to leave in the morning if they do, because I need to be away at 8 o'clock, preferably earlier. We'll see how I feel. Thank you very much for watching. I've enjoyed it today. It's been a good sail. I've enjoyed sailing, and hopefully you've enjoyed the wafflings of an insane sailor going slowly mad. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.